Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to the Bimmer Barn. Today I'm going to be showing you a few simple ways that you can make your E60 look new again. We're going to be polishing the paint and the headlights, as well as installing some upgraded LED bulbs and windshield wipers. All these things are going to make the car a ton nicer to drive. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So this is my 2008 550i, and it spent the last couple years of its life stored outside underneath the Florida sun, and that has caused some irreversible damage to the clear coat on the trunk and on the roof of the car. But the rest of the paint looks really good, and so for the first time in what could be a few years, we're going to be giving it a deep wash and detail today. You see, I have a pressure washer with some Meguiar's soap and a sponge, just some simple tools so that we can get the car really clean. So I'll let you guys enjoy some of these time lapses, and then we'll get into the process of clay barring the paint. And as you could see, it was so hot here in Florida today that I had to wash the car panel by panel, and that was pretty annoying. So to do the clay barring routine, I'm going to pull the car into the garage, and that's going to give us a nice cool environment so the water doesn't just evaporate right off the surface of the car. The clay bar is this little Play-Doh looking tool here. You're going to want to stretch it into something that you can fit in the palm of your hand, and I like to use a little bit of soapy water, like the stuff from doing your car wash, as lubricant for the clay bar. So you want to make sure that you have lubricant, because otherwise you would risk really scratching the paint and it's not going to be a fun experience. But it's as simple as just rubbing it across the surface of the paint, and this is going to pick up all the micro contaminants that are lodged in the clear coat that are causing it to be discolored, that are causing it to hold water and moisture. And you can see here that the clay bar really does a great job of picking up all that dirt and pollen and everything that just gets stuck in there. Now once we're done messing around, we can move back to the next step of this full detail, and that's going to be polishing the paint, because when you clay bar a car, you're actually putting a lot of micro scratches into the surface of the paint. So it's really important that you follow up with that with some sort of compound or polish. I love to use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I feel like I get the best results with this, and a microfiber pad. It just looks really good on all the cars I've done, and I don't really get swirl marks or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and do the hood here just to show you guys what kind of results you guys can expect. I was kind of noticing a little bit of hazing in this hood before. I feel like it was probably repainted. Well, it was definitely repainted before. I can see a couple fisheyes that are not factory, and it seems like it was probably repainted because it was probably cracking in the clear coat like the roof and the trunk were. So I'm not mad, it actually looks pretty good. And while we're here, I'm also going to polish up the headlights, because it just takes about an hour's worth of time, but it makes the biggest difference, especially when your headlights are old and they start to have that yellow hazing like mine. So you're going to work your way from 1500 grit to 2000 to 3000, and then we're finishing up with that microfiber pad and some compound, and that's all we need to make these things look brand new again. So we finished polishing up the hood. I'm not going to do the rest of the car. Just want to show you guys that you can really do that to your paint to make it pop. But the rest of the paint on this car looked really good already. We already did the stuff on the roof and the trunk that really can't be saved. But these headlights definitely can be saved, and they look a ton better compared to the old one. Look at the yellowing, the haze. You got limited visibility from these headlights, and they just don't look good. So I'd really recommend, if you guys have the opportunity, to go ahead. You can even buy one of those cheap 3M headlight polish kits from like Amazon or AutoZone, and that will give you all the tools and supplies you need to get this sort of result. And trust me, it makes the car look so much newer. So after these two mods, we're gonna go ahead and stick on the headlights, because I have some really cool angel eye bulbs that we're gonna be installing. So now that both of our headlights look fresh, we're gonna go ahead and install some upgraded Angel Eye bulbs, and these I got off of Amazon. I'll put a link to them down below. They're pretty affordable. I think they're 10 watts, so they should be pretty bright compared to the original halogens. They're nothing compared to like what you could get for $150, $200 nowadays, but these are under 50 bucks and they should make a really good replacement to the ones that are in the car, which are currently broken. Now to remove the headlights, we need to actually remove part of the front of the bumper here. So there's a few bolts underneath this trim piece, and just that is going to be enough to flex and get the headlight out. There are of course 2 bolts on the top side here and 2 smaller bolts on the bottom. These are T30, and the ones down there I think are T20 or an 8mm, whatever you want to do. But once you peel the front of the bumper here and get the headlight out, then you'll have access to change the Angel Eye bulb. So let's go ahead and remove these headlights, and then I'll show you guys how to change the bulbs. Now with the headlight out, we can take a closer look at its condition, and something that I was worried about looks like is occurring. There's a common issue on the E60 headlights where the insulation on the wires physically starts to crumble off just from the heat, and this happens in Florida cars just because of how hot it gets here. And as you can see, you can get bare exposed copper wire that could cause a short. As you can see, these are the 2 wires that go to this bulb here, and if this short occurs, it could either damage the bulb or it would just throw a fault on the dashboard and tell you that this bulb is bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a little bit more here. You can go ahead and try to get this thing open, and right under this cover I believe should be access to our Angel Eye bulb.
Moments later.
Alrighty, now I just had to do my fact checking really quick. It looks like I bought the wrong Angel Eye bulbs, because the ones for this car are actually H8 bulbs. So it's going to be this one right here. Probably could have changed it, or at least looked at it from the top without removing the headlight, but I'm glad that we did remove the headlight, because it looks like all the wires here are good. But of course the ones that we were looking at earlier that are showing copper, these are the ones for the Angel Eye bulb. You can see that there's the fiber optic kind of loop that runs into right here, actually right on the side. It steals light from the daytime running lights and uses it to power that Angel Eye circuit. So most likely this headlight needs to be torn down and rewired, at least part of the harness. That'd be pretty simple to do. It is a whole job of its own though. You're gonna have to heat up the headlight and kind of break this seal of I think butyl strip adhesive on the back and there, and you can even get a new headlight lens to install, which is a good upgrade to do. But as you can see, these came out pretty good just from the polishing there. So I guess for today, unfortunately, we're gonna have to skip out on doing the Angel Eye upgrade. But if you have a pre-LCI E60, these would work and they would look pretty good actually. I've done them on my 545i, but for now I guess we're gonna be stuck at a standstill and we'll have to run the car without Angel Eyes. All right, so with that mess all taken care of, we're gonna move on to our last item today, and that's gonna be installing these wiper blades. These are an OEM replacement from Bosch, single blade style. You know, they look really cool and advanced. And I think people forget to change their blades very often, because a lot of the cars that I come across have bad blades. A lot of the cars that I have serviced in the past, customers' cars, have had bad wiper blades as well. So we're gonna go ahead and install some new ones today, and that way next time that we're driving in the rain, we're gonna have really nice visibility out of the windshield here. And now with those old wiper blades out of the way, we can take the car out of the garage and give it its final show. So I think the car looks really good compared to how it did at the beginning of the day. So let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, and be sure to leave a like or a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. As always, I hope everyone has an amazing day, and we will see you next time.